Things took an unusual turn in court today. Former Governor Matt Bevin, his estranged wife Glenna, and their adopted son Jonah all came before a family court judge.
And Jonah is asking for an emergency protective order against his parents over allegations of abandonment and mistreatment. And there were several attorneys in the courtroom today, but former governor chose not to have one. Instead, he was his own attorney.
And you want them to stay away from you?
Yes, sir.
That's the former governor's son, Jonah, who is now 18 years old. Matt Bevin surprisingly decided to represent himself and interrogated his adopted son over the teen's request for a protective order against the couple who adopted him 13 years ago. The request for the EPO against his parents came after Jonah says they abused him growing up and sent him to live at a facility in Jamaica that was later shut down after reports of abuse that had taken place there. At the EPO hearing, Jonah detailed a life of abandonment, physical and verbal abuse, stalking, and sexual abuse by another family member.
When you would get in trouble, what do they do for discipline?
It was mostly spankings, which were good because I already had trauma and stuff.
And where did that trauma come from to the extent that you still
Orphanages and stuff.
Glenna Bevin sat quietly in court with her head down many times. Her attorney, Steve Romines, questioned Jonah about his treatment and interactions with his adoptive mother.
In any of these conversations you've had with Glenna Bevin over the past year, has she threatened you?
No, sir, she hadn't threatened me.
When's the last time you saw her in person? Glenna Bevin.
I don't remember. It's been a while.
Over a year?
Yes.
So there's been no violence between Glenna Bevin and you in the past year?
No.
Romines and Glenna scooted back their chairs as the former governor began questioning his son, leading to some awkward moments.
So you felt manipulated, but
Yes, I felt manipulated. There was manipulation the whole time.
so you went straight from
Your Honor,
Florida.
once again, if Mr. Bevin could let Jonah finish his answer before he answers another, asks another question, we greatly appreciate it.
Sure, yes, ma'am. Last month, we've not had a lot of communication at any time. Prior to that, were you ever physically threatened by me
Physically threatened by
in the last 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months?
not really. Like verbally, yes, but not physically.
We asked Don Post, a New York-based child advocacy attorney who's worked on Jonah's case in the months leading up to Friday's hearing, if Jonah knew he would be questioned by his father.
That was unexpected and also complicates direct and cross-examination in a way that you wouldn't have if it was a stranger asking you those questions.
And Jonah was one of 4 Ethiopian children adopted by the Bevins. The hearing wrapped up without a conclusion because they ran out of time today. They're going to be back in court for part 2 of that hearing on Tuesday. Matt Bevin declined to speak on camera after that hearing.